Hey there, I'm Mike, and today I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot your boom-up interlock system. Here are the tools you're going to need: a multimeter and some proxy switch wrenches. Before we get started, make sure you read, understand, and obey the manufacturer's instructions and safety rules, your employer's safety rules and worksite regulations, and all applicable governmental regulations. You also ought to make sure you have the appropriate tools, lifting equipment, and a suitable workshop. Finally, feel free to pause this video at any time to make sure that you're doing each step safely and correctly. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is inspect all Outrigger proxy switches. There are 3 different types of proxy switches, which are colored yellow, green, and silver. The green proxy switch will have 2 lights on it. The green light indicates if the switch has power, and the amber light lets you know if the switch is sensing metal in front of it. The yellow proxy switch is essentially the same as the green switch, except that it does not have a green light indicating a power signal. The silver proxy switches are only used on units with I-CAN systems, such as the V60 V2. They have 1 light like the yellow proxy switch. The silver switch will either have a black or red plug, which will either send a normally open or normally closed signal. Alright, now if you see that an Outrigger proxy switch is not lit correctly, attempt to either extend the Outrigger or adjust the proxy switch. Keep in mind, green vertical and A-frame proxy switches should only have the green light on. The green horizontal should be lit both green and amber. Yellow verticals and A-frame proxy switches should not be lit amber, while the yellow horizontal should be on. And the silver verticals and A-frame proxy switches should not be lit amber, while the silver horizontal should be on. Also keep in mind, some high-reach trucks will have a jumper in the secondary horizontal Outrigger plugs. For example, the G85R MHA would have a jumper on the secondary horizontal Outrigger plugs. These would be found most often when there is no front jack. It is important to know that these can fail and should be inspected as well. Third, locate the lower terminal box. Using the operation and maintenance manual for your unit, determine where the Outrigger harness wires are located. Then, with the master power on, determine if you're getting a 12-volt signal on the orange wire, which is for the passenger side horizontal Outriggers, the blue wire with white tracer, which is for the driver side horizontal Outriggers, and the gray wire with the red tracer, which is for all vertical and A-frame Outriggers. If you have 12 volts on all 3 wires, check to make sure the wire that feeds the solenoid also has 12 volts. If you find that you don't have a signal at one or more of these locations, you'll need to trace the signal back to the unit's harness breakdown. You can do this by unplugging each proxy switch and checking for 12 volts on the common wire, which is feeding the proxy switch. When you find that one does have voltage, but the next one does not, you know that the issue lies somewhere between the 2. At this point, you'll want to inspect all weather packs for pushed out pins or any damage or corrosion. Also, inspect the harness for any damage or pinch points between the 2 proxy switches. Finally, test for 12 volts and a good ground at the boom-up interlock solenoid. If you have 12 volts and a good ground, your issue may lie in the solenoid or cartridge itself, and you'll need to test them. Here's how you do that. First, take the solenoid off the cartridge, then attempt to place something metal near or in the solenoid while the power is on. When you do this, you should feel a magnetic pull. If you don't feel the magnetic pull, the solenoid has most likely failed and will need to be replaced. If there is a magnetic pull, the cartridge has most likely failed, and that will need to be replaced. Alright, now that you've gone through these troubleshooting steps for your boom-up interlock system, you should be good to go. If you need more help, don't hesitate to reach out to one of our service techs at 531-772-0829, and make sure to check out our other technical support videos at elliotequip.com.